Lately, in the gaming world, it seems people are being more and more drawn to indie games rather than the AAA games. And for quite a few reasons that we'll get into. I personally often find myself in that situation. I usually play on the Steam Deck, and that is a perfect home for just about every indie game I've probably ever played. I still love AAA games, don't get me wrong, but I have to address the issues and the underlying problems that they seem to have, especially in today's climate. And we need to understand why we should support the indie devs and the great games that they put out. AAA games are getting more and more expensive every day, and a lot of them seem copy and pasted, unfinished, just lackluster. A lot of them put too much focus on live service and are simply asking too much for too little. And it's getting pretty dang hard to justify the spending. Lots of remasters and remakes, which is not always a bad thing, as I like those kind of games, but they're not branching out and making anything unique enough. These are big companies, remember that. They're the ones who are playing it safe. Indie devs generally have more to lose, therefore I feel they put more heart and soul into their games. They work on passion projects. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how indie games make gaming more accessible in today's world while considering the gamer's needs. More specifically, a gamer's wallet and their precious time. Plus, I just want to talk about some great indie titles, and nothing beats settling in, getting cozy, and playing a game that's actually worth it. So you know the drill. Pour up a coffee, get comfy, and let's talk some indie games. Cheers. So let's get the most negative aspect of this video out of the way, so the rest of the video can focus on the good. It's not breaking news, the economy is in the dumpster, especially here in America, and gaming is more expensive than it's ever been. Companies are charging upwards of $80 for a single game without DLC included, and Xbox is making handhelds that succeed $1,000. What's up with that? This is absolutely crazy from where we were just a few years ago. Gaming used to be something that people could be into pretty heavily, and it still didn't break the bank too bad. Nowadays, if you're a serious, die-hard gamer, the hobby is incredibly expensive, and lately, I feel it's been pricing a lot of people out of enjoying the hobby. This is one area where indie developers are straight up winning. Indie games are almost always more affordable. They usually never push the fully priced game. The most expensive indie game that I'll talk about today is $50, just so you know. And that's full price. Most indie developers consist of smaller teams and are typically considered the small businesses of the gaming world. These teams have significantly more to lose than these gaming giants. They don't have the massive streams of money coming in that these AAA teams have. They often survive off their own ambition and possibly backers. Since this is typically how they get their feet on the ground and build up their portfolio as a developer, they put blood, sweat, and tears into their projects. They are the teams that usually reach for something different. They create the unique games. They handle their games with care, and when they release and we play them, we can tell. My first main point to get across here is that indie games are instantly more accessible due to their price points. Gamers could buy one $80 game, or they could buy multiple indie games, probably on sale, for less than that, and get multiple unique experiences. I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, but we need to be cautious when spending money if we plan to enjoy our hobbies long term. Indie games are a more efficient way to experience more games for less money, especially if you're like me and only buy games when they go on sale. Another reason I consider indie games more accessible is because they're usually not a huge slog to play through. Have you ever played through a game that was good, but it just took too much of your time and it just ended up burning you out and you just didn't really have the drive to finish it? I don't like when a game turns into a chore. I've been there, and I definitely prefer the smaller, more personal, unique approach to a game, possibly with high replayability, that doesn't take all of our time. These games do more with less, and that's commendable. Most gamers don't just game, they do have other things to take care of. We have obligations, jobs, families, other hobbies that we enjoy. It's nice to have a game that gets straight to the point and is good for what it is and doesn't try to be what it isn't. Games that respect your time are underappreciated in my opinion. I suppose this doesn't apply to just indie games, but I feel most of them have this trait in common. I'll name off some indie games that I think are priced more than fairly and don't consume all of your time. I won't go in depth because I'm about to rattle off quite a few. I'm about to unload the clip here. And each one that I'll be naming off is nothing like any other on the list. All are completely a unique and different game, and each one of these games you could spend quite a few hours in. And to top it off, they all released pretty dang polished, and not unfinished like many AAA games over the last few years. And all of these are playable on handhelds, just in case you were wondering. First off, Stardew Valley, made by a solo dev that was insanely affordable at about $15, full price, and you can play casually or get real into it. You can enjoy it as little or as much as you want, and it's also one of my top 5 games of all time. Next up, we have Lunacid, which is a dark fantasy dungeon crawler, which is cheap and short and sweet, straight to the point, it's nostalgic, and it doesn't waste your time or money. Another great exploration game that I played in 2025. And this one is only priced at $14 full price. Ruffy and the Riverside is a cool Paper Mario-esque 3D platformer that is bright, colorful, its music is incredible, and it's a crazy and wild beat-em-up experience that no other 3D platform has really provided, at least in my opinion. Everything is always moving and dancing in this one, and the character designs are some of the coolest I've seen in a while. This one is $20. Sea of Stars, another one of my top 5 games of all time, and my personal game of the year in 2023. I think it was 2023. This is an old school JRPG, very similar to Chrono Trigger, and similar in length and in quality. This one provides an amazing story with next to perfect gameplay for $35 full price. This one truly feels AAA. Not to mention a free DLC that expands the game after you beat its main story. 10 out of 10, and it's actually coming to mobile later this year for anyone who games on their phone. Thank you, Sabotage Studios. You guys are real ones. Everybody knows this one, but Expedition 33 is another banger that provides a great story with a never-before-seen art style. This game beat out every AAA game at the awards, and it's clear to see why. The passion and soul that went into this modern-day French JRPG, if you want to call it that, was insane. And the community agreed. This one is definitely AAA quality with a $50 price tag. Easy Delivery Co. is a weird lo-fi, old-school looking game where you drive around and deliver packages. Upgrade your vehicle, and uncover the strange community in the wintry world around you. This one is awesome and perfect for someone who just wants to relax and unwind, like me. Full price here is $13. Nubby's Number Factory is the craziest but coolest flash game-like title I've probably ever played. Have you ever played Peggle? Because it's kind of like that, but not really. I don't know how to describe this game, so I'll just show the gameplay. But this is one of the most addicting games I have ever played, and this one is only $5. Be warned, this one will hook you, and it will not let go. And the developer is still updating it all the time. Light Up the Town is a cozy decorating game. I've actually talked about this one on here before. And this game is about having Christmas spirit and spreading joy and positivity. If you like Christmas like me, this is the best niche game for you. And this one was only $15, and it gives you some stress-free gaming and some lo-fi Christmas tunes to listen to. That is a win-win in my opinion. Dredge is a fishing survival game with Lovecraftian elements in it. This game is awesome. The music, the tone, the environments, everything here is just top-notch. And this one is $25. And lastly, No I'm Not a Human is this weird point-and-click survival horror game that has endless replayability. This game is dreary and was a great game to play around Halloween and the fall season. Weird art style with tons of ways to play and go about it. And this one was priced at only $15. I'm plugging so many games. Someone please sponsor me. I need some more coffee. I know I named off a lot of games there, but I actually had to narrow that list down. There are so many interesting indie titles that are worth our time. And in return, we get a truly unique gaming experience that respects our time and the money we spend. A win-win for any gamer that doesn't have a lot of time to indulge in the hobby or a lot of money to indulge in the hobby. I'm pretty sure I got every game I listed on sale as well. Maybe not Sea of Stars, I think I bought that one on launch. So I'd knocked most of those prices in half. So overall, indie games are a solid way for gamers to save money. I obviously still love AAA games, and some of my most anticipated games are AAA, but it's a no-brainer at which part of the industry respects gamers as human beings, and not just a consumer. People are busy, and time is priceless, and money is not plentiful for most either. Affordability in both money and time is crucial to being a gamer and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. All of those games I mentioned are absolutely fantastic. Some of my all-time favorites. And you can play all those for the price of just a few fully priced video games. And if any of them go on sale, you're getting an absolute steal. Bank robbery. Don't sleep on those titles. Hopefully some of you can find your next favorite affordable game on here. I just want an excuse to talk about some of these rockin' indie games and why I think they're killing it in the industry. It's a part of the industry that deserves to be recognized and praised. They're the ones who stray from the live service and microtransaction business models, and I appreciate that. They focus on the game itself and the core factors that make the game great. A lot of the time, simple, straightforward gaming is the way to go. So if you like what I'm doing here or find any value in these videos, please consider hitting that like button, as it genuinely helps me out and helps put these videos in front of more and more of you. And if you like videos about gaming, tech, and lifestyle, you're in the right place, so also consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the family. We'd love to have you. Here we talk about video games and the lifestyle around playing them. Make sure you leave a comment about your favorite indie games or any other games that you enjoyed that respect your time and wallet. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great Sunday, and I hope you're able to get a little gaming in. And with that being said, top off that coffee, turn on your gaming handheld, and until next time, peace.